We need more teams to be good at football, man. I'm tired of seeing the same 4 teams make the playoffs every year. And that reminds me, that's like could possibly bring us to this next topic with Notre Dame. Like
Notre Dame.
Why? Let me get this right. We just saw the best Notre Dame. Notre Dame's made the playoffs how many times in the last 4 or 5 years? They've been a top 5, 6, 7 team, and how many times in the last 5 years? This year though was the best I've seen Notre Dame play. I know they got smacked by Bama, but who didn't? Right? I don't like this move by Notre Dame, man. I think they really only got into the playoffs this year because they beat Clemson. They've got to put some tough opponents on their schedule. When I say tough opponents, I mean top 5 teams. And I think staying in the ACC, I like seeing Notre Dame in the ACC. I think it's a perfect fit for them. When I play NCAA 14, them boys are always in the ACC. So I'm like, I just think they're too good to be in the independent, man. They play too many easy teams. That strength of schedule comes into factor. They do schedule some tough opponents, so I give them props for that. But when you play Clemson every year, that's going to cause some noise because if you beat that team, it's almost like punching a ticket to the big game. You got blown out by Clemson in the conference championship and still made the playoffs. Still made it
somehow.
So I think Notre Dame, they need to start signing the papers. Let's get them to the ACC.
I don't know. The thing is that people were saying this was years back. It was like they were scheduling ACC opponents because they needed to play a certain amount of ACC games a year to join the ACC, right?
Okay.
And I don't know what year they were supposed to join. It was either 2020 or 2022. It was one of those. They were supposed to join the ACC, and then all this Corona stuff happened and all that, and they joined it forcefully. You almost won the ACC, a Power 5 conference in your only year there. Mm-hmm. But back to the thing, all their other sports I think are in the ACC. I think basketball is in the ACC. All their other sports are in the ACC, and that's just like I'm just wondering why wouldn't you just put football? You gain nothing from the independents. You don't have a conference championship game that punches you basically a ticket to the what's it called? Playoffs if you win it. Mm-hmm. Almost guaranteed ticket to the playoffs if you win it. Mm-hmm. I think the only team that's missed out that's won it, I think, is like, a couple teams won it and not made it. But I mean, notably Oklahoma this year. But
right.
You just lost the conference championship and made it. That's how powerful you were in the ACC. I mean, we understand that you can schedule whoever you want in the independents, but I mean, let's just say that you have a better chance of having a better quality schedule if you play in a conference like the ACC. It's just that simple. I mean, you had the chance to play North Carolina. Miami looked decent this year. They had a good ranking, almost at all times.
Yeah, and they were beating these teams, bro. And it was building up. Like, that's the reason the committee was able to throw them in. When you're beating teams like you're beating these unknown teams in the bottom of conferences, man. Those aren't the college football playoff committee isn't looking at that. I mean, look what happened to BYU this past season. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Notre Dame's made the playoffs plenty of time, but I think obviously, honestly, and then playing better opponents. So I feel like make you better come playoff time. Because has Notre Dame won a playoff game yet? No. Has Oklahoma? No. I mean, it's just that simple as easy. These easy conferences, man. It's got to be. Some teams you got to prepare better for that. But this is one I want to kind of like pass to the Notre Dame fans. Like, I wonder how they feel about this. Are they happy about staying in the independent?
Do they want to join the ACC?
How do you feel about being in the ACC? You think they should be in the ACC? Playing Clemson every year, that'd be great. Especially next year. Next year's going to be a movie.
That's the thing, though. That's another thing. Like, you got to understand how much attraction was brought to Notre Dame whenever they did beat Clemson this year.
Exactly.
A lot of attention was brought Notre Dame's way. Mm-hmm. Everybody was like, "Oh, Notre Dame might be dangerous. Oh, they them boys."
I'm telling you, like, this is the best Notre Dame team I've seen. Like, them playing in a conference, they were just smoking all these teams. It was beautiful because I'm like, wow. Like, people said, "Hey, Notre Dame wouldn't survive in a conference. They go to a conference and dominate." Come on, it doesn't get better than that.
They looking like Tom Brady.
Facts. They like it just doesn't get better than that. I'm just trying to figure out how do you go back to the independent. Get in a conference, man. The ACC, please. We don't want to see this, independent stuff anymore, man. Get that out of college football, man. Put all those teams in some conferences, please.